Hi everyone. This is a demo, full comprehensive demo of CloudPolly, SaaS platform, text-to-speech SaaS platform that you can start within a minute and start your own text-to-speech startup business. And the script can be hosted on any shared hosting or any public hosting, wherever you prefer, wherever the PHP version, appropriate PHP version and MySQL versions are supported. The details of the exact versions you can find in the documentation, because with the updates it might change. So the script is fully written in Laravel framework and supported by four main cloud vendors: AWS, Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, Microsoft Azure, and IBM Cloud. So all of the text-to-speech services from these vendors are included here. So in total, you'll get more than 840 different voices, both neural and standard quality voices, and more than 130 different languages and dialects. So the demo is live and you can test it yourself. It's available on CloudPolly at Berkine.space. Link is in the description as well. And you can find the entire source code in Codecanyon. Link is in the description as well. So this will be a comprehensive demo, so I'll try to touch the main important parts. I know there's a lot of people testing it, and it has already been bought by more than 300 people. So definitely, yeah, be one of our clients. And if you have any questions, definitely let us know. So the front end is fully customizable. It's basically written in standard HTML and CSS markup languages, and you can either create your own front end or just customize, modify this front end as you prefer. We also provide the SaaS files for the CSS customization, so you can edit immediately from there and just compile and style it as you prefer, or just completely redirect to different front end page, and I'll show you in a second from the backend admin panel how to do this. So the front end, first thing you'll see, there's a small demo that people can run immediately without even logging in, and this can be turned on and off in the admin panel um, as you prefer. So just to give you an idea, you can select all the voices available in this particular language. And by the way, you can enable and disable not only this front-end demo, but also the neural voices and standard voices within the backend panel. So if you want to show only for in the front end, if you want to show only standard voices, that's available as well.
Experience AI voices.
And there's for each voice, there's also a sample which will change immediately.
Hello, you can use any of our voices to synthesize your text.
So you get the idea. Some information about the what features are there. You can create a sample use cases with various content as you prefer. These are just random samples that we created. And you can also create add customer reviews through the admin panel. Um, and you can create blogs as well for your customers. Add some FAQ section to answer maybe some generic questions in terms of these are again sample questions, but it's up to you. You can edit and add as you prefer. So let's log in. So as I said, the demo is fully online. You can use our default admin credentials or user credentials that we used. Obviously, since it's a demo, most of the features will be disabled, but still the main core component of text-to-speech is available for testing. So when you log in as an admin, um, first thing you'll see is your admin dashboard. This gives you general information in terms of how many people are registered current months, and in total this year, how many of them are actually subscribed, your income for this particular month, for past months, and current year, total estimated spending. Now this spending takes consideration all for cloud vendors, but it doesn't take into consideration your free tier. So when you open accounts with preferred cloud vendor or cloud vendors, all of them pretty much have a free tier limitation within the number of characters that you can use per month and the duration. Some cloud vendors, such as Azure and Google, they provide you unlimited basically terms in terms of the duration, but you're limited into the respective amounts for each month. I don't remember the exact numbers. For Google now, it's around 1 million, I think, neural characters. For Azure, it's around 500,000 neural characters per month, but it's a limited term duration. Like, for example, in AWS, it is, if I remember correctly, up to 5 million standard characters per month and up to 1 million neural characters per month, but limited for 1 year. After 1 year, your free tier expires and you just start billing as an on-demand basis. And it's true for all cloud vendors. You always get charged only based on your actual usage. You also get information in terms of the how many free characters were used, paid characters, purchase characters, etc. Some graphs in terms of understanding the visual aspects. So let me start with the main part, which is converting text to speech, and then we will dive deep into the other components which might be interesting and useful for you. So the way it works, and none of these cloud vendors have this, is here you can mix all voices from 4 different cloud vendors in one convenient place. So for example, I don't know who is who here, but since we added the avatar images, it was get a bit difficult to identify the exact cloud vendor. Before it was just cloud vendor logos, but still within the result you can see it as well. And the other way to check who is who, we added nice voice customization for you. So here you get information in terms of all voices available for you. The entire 841 voices. So you can change the voice names as you prefer. You get information what kind of language they belong. You can change the avatars. You can enable or disable them individually. But again, here for the demo purposes, it is limited. You can also listen samples directly from here.
Hallo, u kan enige van ons stemme gebruik om die teks na behoefte te sintetiseren.
Looks like that was Afrikaans. Yeah, so you get the idea. Now let me show you how it works. So there's 3 ways to listen for this audio for this text, to synthesize this text. One is, for example, if I had multiple roles, if you want to listen just this particular row, all you have to do is just click listen,
Hi there.
and it will play just this text area. Now text area is limited up to 3,000 characters. That's a hard limitation. That's a limitation because of one of the cloud vendors which does not support more than 3,000 characters for the live synthesized task. But again, you can add up to 20 voices here. You can set, if I'll open the configuration page, for example, let's have it open so I explain where you can configure this. You can put up to 20 voices, so which means you can mix up to 20 voices from all cloud vendors as you prefer. And it's not limited only to one language, so you can change the language and add additional voices. So here, for example, just gives you an idea in terms of that how many voices you can mix. And in total, you can generate a single synthesized task with up to 60,000 characters. So that's pretty much a good number of text. So the second way of listening is if you want to listen a merged result but don't want to store it on your servers, you can, whether you're using Amazon S3 bucket, Wasabi bucket, or local storage, all 3 options are supported. You can just click listen.
Hi there. How are you?
As you can see, it synthesized both of them and merged for you. You can also switch, by the way, the extensions. Now, be careful with extensions because, again, you are mixing all of the voices here from all cloud vendors. But the reality is that not every cloud vendor supports all these 4 the file extensions. As soon as you change the language, for example, if I check as example demo purposes, if I changed from Oscar, was it Oscar? Yeah, to Sally, as you can see, WAV is not available anymore. So that means I think this Google some voices from Google, but again, the limitation is at the cloud vendor level. So the AWS, for example, supports MP3 and OGG formats. Google supports the MP3 and WAV formats and OGG as well, I think. And for example, Microsoft supports MP3, OGG, and WebM. IBM supports MP3 and WAV only, as an example. So you have to mix carefully because mixing different file formats is not supported. Now, the third option to listen is you can synthesize directly to the to make it available in a long term. So you will see your synthesized tasks, which are basically produced today. You can see the text, and then you can listen it. You can download it as you prefer. Just expand it, and you can delete or see the details, and so on and so forth. If you want, you just click with one click. You can delete. All the results are available under your audio results file. Just to give you some perspective, I think there should be a lot of results because it's the publicly available demo, so anyone from with the link can log in and test. And obviously, everyone from Codecanyon platform are testing it actively. As you can see, there are already close to 3,000 entries. So that's pretty much being tested widely. So if I go back to text to speech, there's a couple points I want to mention. So you can group all your text to speech under various projects. So you can create your own project, let's say audiobook 1 or whatever, and then just give a title as an example, chapter 1. You will need them a bit later, and I'll explain you why. First of all, obviously, to differentiate audio files between each other. You might get a lot of them at some point. Now the next thing I want to show you is the SSML tags, speech markup languages. So if I just grab this one, so all these SSML tags gives you additional enhancement to the to the final result. Now one thing you need to be aware is that they change dynamically based on the voice. For example, if I select Ivy, as you see, some of the SML tags disappeared. Now the reason is, again, comes to the cloud vendors. Each cloud vendor support different SML tags. Now there are some common points between them. So the common ones obviously will always remain, but the ones which are unique only to that particular voice will be basically shown here, and the ones which doesn't apply to that particular voice will be removed. Now, the good part is that whenever you add, for example, if I go to this Ivy, let's say I want to have it very loud. As you saw, just to repeat myself, first I highlighted this. Let me actually take it step back and show you. You can clear the effects from here. So if you want to add a SML tags at this stage, it is works like this. You select the text, and you just click to select your preferred SML tag. Now you can nest the SML tags as well, so you can highlight it again and put, I don't know, whatever additional. Now what I was trying to say is you can, for example, select, let's see, I don't just pick one from button, this guy. Now the guy has some speaking styles, Newcaster. Okay, I didn't add this. Let me remove Ivy. And let me just grab a text. So as you can see, this speaking style was not available for Ivy. Now, one word of caution, don't mix SML tags with other voices. You always use SML tags that appears for the current voice that you selected. So for example, for the guy, which means these SML tags are dedicated only for them. Now, obviously they might work for the other voices, but to be on the safe side, just use always whenever you change the voice, because these things get changed dynamically, as I said. Now just let's listen this.
Synthesize text.
Synthesize text results, current day.
So obviously text was a bit short to hear the effects, especially for the Newcaster, but yeah, you can see the synthesized text was loud enough. But Newcaster, you need some, I don't know, some kind of news text, and it will be read as narrator on the news channel. And that's it in terms of the demo itself. You can just add more. You can delete all lines. You can also upload a TXT file at the moment. Now, TXT file size, text, character length will be limited to what you have in your settings. Now what you see here, I lost the screen, let me close it. What you see here, for example, as I said, it's up to 3,000 characters for that single text area, but you can limit it. So for example, limit the total size. So if you set here, let's say, I don't know, 100 and click save. Now this is a demo, so you cannot save it, but which means you cannot enter more than 100 characters here, even if the limitation is 3,000 for this entire text area. Obviously, if you want second one, if you already have here 100 characters and you add second one, that's not gonna work because you're outside of limit. Um, just to give you some idea. So let me show you another important thing. Starting from version 1.5, we added Sound Studio. Again, all your projects, if you want to see all the results under a particular project, how they're grouped, etc., they are here. You just have to select your proper project name and it will automatically show you all the results under this project. You can delete it, you can download it, you can play it as you prefer. And it just gives you perspective in terms of how many characters were used in total for all these results and how many results are there. Now, Sound Studio is pretty powerful. Sound Studio. What it does, it allows you to mix audio files, basically synthesize results with a background music of your choice. Now, we have uploaded some background music already for you. When you go for a production, you can allow people to upload music, and then there's a Sound Studio settings, where you can set a limit in terms of the size for the background music and the number of audio files, for example, that person can merge. So as an example, yeah, I see people are actively testing it. Let me just click one of them, or if they added music.
Приветствую, Александр.
As you can see,
Я трахал ваш рот обезьяной Чичичи.
yeah, someone, Alexander, I do understand Russian. They're just swearing. Let me just delete it. I don't know who created this. But yeah, you can see really a lot of funny or useless or just this kind of bad synthesized results on the demo. So anyways, let's go to the details here. So the background music here, you have to select your background music first of all. Again, this is the way you upload. You can see all the background music audio files in one place. These are uploaded by you, or you'll get to see the ones which are public, and I'll explain you in a second. So whatever admin uploads here, they become, again, I'm in the, first of all, in the admin panel. If admin uploads from here, it becomes publicly available to all the users, registered users in CloudPolly, regardless they are paid or paid users or free tier users. You can make it private or you can make it public. Private means it's only available to the person who actually uploaded this. So if, for example, a user of yours uploaded a file, audio file, background music, you liked the quality and the content of this, the way it sounds, and it's only available for that particular user, but you can also make it public just by clicking, let's say that here you'll see that it will not be public. You could just click with one click, make it public. And if the person uploaded some bad music, you can delete it from the admin panel. So going back to the Sound Studio, let me see what's this one.
Hi there. How are you?
And what's this one?
I will provide you my best expertise in video creation and
Okay, let's, for the demo purposes, merge them. So I'll just select randomly background music. Let's hear what it is. That's good enough. So obviously you want to make your background music a bit quieter so the text actually pronounced clearly. The final result, you can leave it as default. Let's make it a bit loud. Also, If you want to merge files in, let's say, in a WAV format or OGG format, then you have to select it first and then select the formats. Now, if you cannot mix formats, if it's files in an MP3 format, then yes, you have to select only MP3 ones. If you want to merge lossless in lossless formats, you have to select them and then merge them. But if you select this one and then by accident you select MP3, it will not allow you. It will basically complain. So if I go ahead and select these two and try to merge, it will say incorrect format. So the protection is there for you. On the back end, it's merged with an FFmpeg codec. So your hosting server basically needs to support a shell execute command. Now, the merging is very easy. All you have to do is select the files you want to merge. If you want to select the change, the way it works is basically it merges from top to bottom. If you want to change the order, you have to select from the top here and just drag it below the files that you want it to be. So now the order is changed. But let's move it back and just click merge. Oops, I didn't select the format. And you can see that's it. So the first one here is mine. I've merged two files. Let's listen.
Hi there. How are you?
I will provide you my best expertise in video creation and editing using various softwares like.
So as you can see, with just a couple clicks, you not only created, converted text to speech, but also merged two files and added background music all in one place. So that's how powerful it is. Now, if I show you additional features here, let me go over them quickly. So if you don't want to basically synthesize the demo text each time, you can listen all the demo audios that I already generated for you. We just click it and then
Hello, you can use any of our voices.
so basically you can hear all the voice qualities. As you can see, English language has a lot of voices here, and then it's differentiated between neural and then standard, the ones which has neural tag, which then they are basically neural voices. They sound more like a human, more live human being. And then there's standard voices. Some of them sounds really well, but some of them sounds like the machine. Well, that's again limitation of the cloud vendors. And you can also change the voice. As soon as you change the voice, the languages here will change automatically. As soon as you change the language, voice is changed automatically. So again, this is a SaaS platform, which means you can purchase a subscription. So whenever user joins first time, you can give them a free credits here. So that's the free tier group. Again, I'm in the TTS configuration, so you can give whatever the X amount of free credits you want. So they are free for your customer, but obviously they're not free for you. So eventually, if you exceed free tier limitation of cloud vendors, you will get charged. You can set limitation in terms of for free tiers, how many characters, so the text length that they can synthesize, the number of voices they can merge, and whether neural voices are enabled or not. Again, neural voices are more expensive than standard voices. So the cost of neural voices, as I said, in average, it's $16 per 1 million characters. The standard, well, not every cloud vendor has standard characters anymore. It's only Google and AWS who have standard voices available. But the price of standard voices is cheaper comparing to the neural voices. I think it is $4 for 1 million characters. So going back to the, actually close this so you don't get distracted. To my balance, now the user, upon depleting their characters, they'll be notified that they don't have credits, that they need to subscribe. So you can create subscription plans, and I'll show you how in the admin panel, but that's what user sees. They can select a monthly subscription plan, which will renew automatically every month, and then they'll receive these credits. Now, at this moment, the way it's created, its credits do not deplete, but again, you are winning, you're still earning ton of, well, at least 70-80% or more, regardless if they use it or not. For example, they can use 1 million characters for $39. Now again, this is just an example. It can be more, it can be less, all up to you. But in reality, even if they use 1 million characters of neural voices, which means they'll use neural characters, the maximum cost will be $16. So you're still earning $23 on per user per month with this plan, professional plan. And here this, for example, again, it depends. And when they mix voices, if the standard is available, obviously it will be cheaper, and then you gain more. They can also top up with prepaid plans. That will add additional credit on top of this one. Again, those credits do not expire until depleted. This is for your customers basically. You can create unlimited number of prepaid plans as you wish. You can make it 10 million, 100 billion, whatever you prefer. User can see all the subscriptions to which they are currently subscribed or were subscribed in the past, their payments, basically how they paid. I see this person purchased a lot of prepaid plans and so on and so forth. They can also refer new users and earn on this one. So they can earn additional credits. Again, this can be set in the admin panel in terms of how many credits you can give to your users, and then earned for earning commission for either first purchase or for every purchase for the people that they referred, and it's all up to you to set it. People can see their credits. And so that's the credits and usage in their profile page. Now that's from user profile page in terms of they can see how many neural characters or standard characters they actually used in that particular month. As you can see, this person is using it actively. And again, this is a main admin demo, so that's why you see here a lot of usage, but in reality, it should have been even more. Also, people can change, a user can change their default language and voice. So I can set anyone that they prefer, and here, oh yeah, here you can see the split in terms of the cloud vendors. Again, you can enable or disable this. This is just for the demo purposes again, but if you go to the configuration page, you can show or hide the cloud vendor. Now, if I go, for example, to the let me open this to the last synthesized text that I used. Now it picked up that the last voice was GCP. So for example, if I just click hi with this particular voice, Oscar, okay, this is GCP voice as well. So you can show or hide. If you hide it, obviously your user will not be aware that on the back end it's running all four different cloud vendors and their respective text-to-speech services. You can set your default project and the standard information in terms of, for example, if admin wants to contact you or the information you want to see in your invoice, etc. You can also create, if you're facing any issue, your users can create a support ticket. You just have to create a support ticket and send one. Admin will receive it here. All the support requests go here, and then they can reply. So let's get into the main parts of the admin panel. Now, here is the main text-to-speech dashboard from the admin perspective. Here, instead of the main dashboard where you have the main highlights, here you have more breakdown in terms of what has been used and how in what capacity. So you can see each split in terms of each cloud vendor, how many characters were used per cloud vendor in a given month and in a given year. And also you can see in terms of how many of them were free, how many of them paid, standard, neural, etc. And as you can see, the Azure here is basically leading in terms of the usage, but that's mainly because Azure has the most supported voices comparing and languages comparing to other vendors. IBM has the least, and that's the utilization. And you can see the results of all your customers in terms of, and don't forget there's a 3,000 more in terms of whether they were free tier tasks or paid tier tasks. I wonder if there is some, we'll get to see some paid tier tasks because there is a user which is available in terms of the, yeah, you can see some of them are paid. So the demo user in CloudPolly is actually a subscriber. So that's why you see this. In terms of what kind of results and audio files, etc. So the voice customization we already seen. Sound Studio. If I close this, now here from Sound Studio, again, you can set, by the way, activate or disable entirely Sound Studio with just one click and save. Again, it's a demo, so it will not allow me to save, which means if you just disable it, it will not be available for your users. This is useful in case, for example, if you are not able to configure the underlying requirements for Sound Studio, or your hosting simply doesn't support it, you can just disable it, or maybe just don't need it. You can see all the Sound Studio results generated by your users, and they're all here, and then all the uploaded background music files, they're all here. So in the configuration part, so let me explain you, this is also very important. You can set default language and default voice. Now these are for new users, new people who will be registered into CloudPolly, into this SaaS platform. You can enable or disable standard or neural voices, or basically provide one of them or both of them. You can enable or disable SML tags, all of them, for every cloud vendor. It's just one click. The SML tags is the ones for enhancing the output synthesized results. Default storage, you can select local server, the Amazon S3 bucket or Wasabi, and then auto clean only works for the default storage. Listen mode results. So when you listen for when you the two options, the listen for the text areas combined and the single text area, they also have this download button on the down below. You can enable or disable it as you prefer. And as I said, you can set maximum characters that people can synthesize in a single task. The max limitation is 60,000, and to be frank, that's a soft limitation which I put. But if you need to increase it, obviously you can increase it. Same goes for the maximum number of voices. 20 sounds reasonable. Again, don't forget that the more you add, the more the merging actually consumes some resources on your backend server. 20 doesn't consume much, but if you put hundreds or thousands, obviously that might make some impact. The front end, as I said, the one that you see on the front end, the live synthesization, you can disable or enable it as you prefer. You can set all your keys if you want to use Wasabi, the AWS keys. So the setting up AWS, Azure, GCP, and IBM instructions are available in our documentation. So we provide the step-by-step guide in terms of the screen with the screenshots, so that will be easier for you to configure. And soon I will also create a video tutorial in terms of how to configure each of these cloud vendors. So stay tuned. If you can disable it with just one click. So for example, you enter the API keys you used for some time, and then you want to hide or just to disable IBM voices, you just disable it and click save. That's it. IBM voices will not be available. You can also individually disable neural standard voices from these vendors, such as GCP, Azure, and AWS, and whatever is disabled will not be available. Just quick note on the standard voices of Azure. Now, starting last year in August, Azure disabled or deprecated all their standard voices, but they are still available in case if you were using Azure Text-to-Speech service before August 2021, it will be still available for you until August 2024. So you still have 2 years to use standard voices, but that's only for lucky ones who actually were using standard voices before. And to be frank, the quality of standard voices is pretty good, and you still get a lot of available voices within Azure. But the good part is that now they're emphasizing neural voices, which means the quality of their new neural voices will be even better. In the AWS, you can enable or disable standard voices as you prefer. The user management. So let me show you something. So these are standard information in terms of your users, how many users are there, the number of subscribers, where they're from. So this is just some additional useful information that I added you to give you some perspective in terms of where their users are connected. But let me show you something useful. So obviously you can create a new user manually for someone, but you can also add credits to your user. So for example, if you don't want to have a person subscribed and the person is asking for credits, or a person asks for support request, let's say they face some kind of issue, or you just want to give some credits, all you have to do is just click one button and then add whatever million characters you want to add. It's that easy. Now you can also change the status of a user. You can suspend it, deactivate, then change the user group, make it subscriber, make it admin, change password, etc. So this part is very useful. Now let's go to the main important part in terms of how to make money. Now here you see all your finance information in terms of the total income estimation, how many the purchase paid charts were used, etc., and the estimated billing from or spending from the cloud vendors. Here you see the actual split. But again, this script was running almost 1 year, and in 1 year, to be frank with you, I think I paid maybe $7 or $8 in total. So far, as you've seen, there's like millions of characters used, but all of them are never exceeded free tier. And the reason why I paid maybe $9 or $8 is because of IBM. The IBM free tier is about 20,000 characters per month only, comparing to the other vendors which gave you millions. So that was the only reason why there was a small charge. So let's give you overall perspective. The next part is in terms of seeing all your incoming payments, from whom the payment came, the order ID, and so on and so forth. The subscriptions are the people who are subscribed currently. You'll see their current status, next payment, subscription IDs, and let's get to the important part. Now I have a video tutorial for all the subscription in terms of how to set subscription plans with 4 different gateways. Now, even though the script supports 9 different gateways or 10, only 4 of them are available for monthly subscription plans. The rest are available for prepaid plans. And the way you create it, you have to fill it up all the required fields. You can put the plan name, whatever price you want to set. And this is the part I want to highlight is the payment plan IDs. Now these ones are generated in your respective payment gateways that you use, and that's very important because the script does not generate it for you. You'll have to generate from for example, if you're using Stripe, you need to use log into your Stripe account and generate a product ID. We do have video tutorial in the documentation. Link is in the documentation. On our YouTube channel, so you can see step by step how to create a product ID and what value to put here. That's so you can see some demo. That's pretty much something like this. This is a demo, a product ID. The reason why we did this is because we want to make sure that your payment gateway takes care of the setting up the plans, etc., because they might change the way the product IDs are created. And if we are not aware, then there will be some incompatibility issues. That's why we want to make sure that the APIs in terms of creating product ID, etc., are dealt by the payment gateways, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who will be taking the charge from the payment from the customers. So that's in your interest to make sure that proper product ID, everything is managed centrally by your payment gateways. And obviously, there is a way to make it from doable from within the script, but just that's an extra task. Maybe we'll do it in the future, but currently it's not a priority. And the number of characters you want to give into the plan, some bonus credits, etc., some information. Again, this is available in the video tutorial. Same goes to the prepaid plan, but in this case, you don't need to create any kind of plan IDs or product IDs. It's pretty much straightforward. And one suggestion I can do here is make sure that the plan ID is actually the number of credits. So instead of giving something like, I don't know, standard, which doesn't really ring a bell or doesn't make sense much compared to the subscriptions, for example, just give a value in terms of, okay, the plan name is 5,000, which basically means the user will get 5,000 characters. Well, sorry, that's price. That's where it should be. and some bonus characters if you want. Again, this is optional. You can also generate promo codes to give additional discounts to your users, but be advised that the promo codes are valid only to prepaid plans. They are not valid for subscription plans. You can create new promo code here as you prefer, and there are two options, whether you get a percentage discount or fixed discount. Now, the referral system gives you overall information in terms of how many people were referred, what credits you allocated, and then what commissions you paid, and so on and so forth. The earnings from the referral as well is tracked here in a nice place. Here you would see all the payments by the referred people in one place. So that's where you set how many gift credits you want to give for each individual that basically referred someone else as a gift credit. And you can also put some commission rate in terms of how many percentage of the user's payment you want to return to the customer, or basically return as a reward, and some instructions in terms of how to set. So that part is also important to set the invoice language and the currency. The invoice supports multiple languages, and otherwise one person pays the bill, and if it tries to get an invoice, they will see an error because this invoice it hasn't been set up from the admin panel. Now the payment settings is the place where you include all your payment gateway IDs. Again, you can put in PayPal, Stripe, Paystack, Razorpay, Molly, Braintree. In the cryptocurrency, you can do Coinbase Wallet. That's basically Coinbase Commerce. And then offline payment of bank transfer and My Balance. My Balance is coming soon. At the moment, it's not integrated into this entire system. That's it. The rest are general settings, which are straightforward. The general settings basically in terms of setting up the global site name and time zones, etc. You can also, by the way, in the admin panel, disable entirely user notification, user support, and all voices panels in all voices tabs in the user panel, just from one place. The other thing I want to show you here is in the front end. You can disable some of the sections. So there are some pages, front end page, the pricing page, and voices page, that's a standalone page, but the rest are basically a part of the front end page. That's the front end, the landing page. So there's contacts part. Well, contacts is also a page as well. The features, blog section, etc. There's just parts, sections in a landing page. You can disable them if you want, and you can completely redirect the front end to some other URL if you want. You can also include custom CSS files or JS files. The CEO part is there, and you get it. All the features can be configured from one place. That's it. You can also search for your results, but play around with the demo. Again, the link is available under CloudPolly. Well, the demo is available under CloudPolly.berkine.space, and credentials are already built into the login, but you can also register yourself, but you'll be registered as a standard user. Well, that gives you perspective in terms of what the user actually will see. Again, it's a full SaaS platform available in Codecanyon. If you'll have any questions, let us know. And by the way, even though it says it's powered by all 4 vendors, it doesn't mean that you need to register with all 4 at the same time. Of course, you could. If you register with all 4 of them, you will get the highest number of available voices and the biggest number of available languages and dialects. But if you register with one or some of them, only the sum of these respective cloud vendors will be added. So the number of voices will be available only for that particular cloud vendor. That's it. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments or in our Codecanyon profile. Thanks.